friends. So welcome to my first video ever that I am doing, and I'm doing it here in Paris, France. So if you guys want to know how I got to work over here, if you want to know what it is that I'm doing, how I'm living my Parisian lifestyle, and tips and tricks, and just to make your stay much better, then you want to watch the rest of this video. Let's go. So the first thing that I want to talk about is why I am here. Why Paris? The number one reason is I think it's because I've always been into fashion, and I think that's been something that I've been doing since I was a little girl. And I've always wanted to follow this stream, and I wanted to, become a fashion designer, and now I'm pursuing that. And no better place than Paris. I thought maybe that I could get the best out of Paris life and style and fashion and all the inspiration that's here in this city. Usually I like to plan my trips at least from 6 months to a year. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find airline tickets a year in advance. So if you can't find them for a year, and plus, a year is a long time, things happen, then try within 6 months to 6 months and 7 or 8 months in advance. And how I planned my trip, it happened back in 2019, September 2019. I was coming to what's called Lithuania. I was coming to Lithuania for my friend's wedding, Claudia's wedding. And so I came with my sister back in September, the end of September. We spent the last 2 weeks of September here in Lithuania. We went to my friend's wedding, and at that time I was really busy with work, and I was just focused, just getting work done. I was working with my sister, and I knew that I wanted to do something different in 2020, but I just didn't know exactly what. I knew I wanted to open up a new business or start a new job or, do something different. I really wanted to have that, difference in my life for 2020. So when I came out to travel for my friend's wedding, we spent a couple weeks. I came with my sister, and we came a couple weeks we went to Spain, we went to Sevilla. It was amazing, and also I put some pictures on my Instagram, which I'm pretty sure you guys might have seen. And that's when I realized that the world really is really small. Sometimes it's just really hard for us to step out of our comfort zone and really experience it. But the world is there for us, and life happens for us, So I'm thinking, you know what? I really have the opportunity to come out here, and why not? Why not experience the new life that I've been wanting to here in Europe? And if fashion's always been something that I've been wanting to do, why not do it here? Why not do it here in France, in Paris? So that's when it hit me. When I went home in October, I started planning. I booked my air flight. I started saving more money. Also, I started looking for ways, because I wanted to come to Paris, but I wanted to do something. I didn't just want to be here. I just kind of, be like, okay, yay, I'm here, but what am I doing exactly? So that's when I started researching programs and maybe work and internships and things of that sort to see what I could do. I even looked at universities. I looked at some of the institutes, the fashion institutes that offer like a 6-month program or a 3-month program, but the thing was that those were so ridiculously expensive. They were about 6,000 euros for about 3 months, or yeah, even less. It was about 10,000 euros for a 6-month program, which I thought, you know what, like, wow, that's just a lot of money. I want to immerse myself into the fashion industry, not just to learn about it, not just to learn about the theory, but I want to learn about the techniques, and I want to be in the fashion industry. So there's no better way than to actually just start working, start working in the fashion industry. And that's when I started looking into internships instead, because the institutions were just too expensive. Okay, so how I did it was that I started researching and going online and started to find programs, and I found Fashion Week internships. So what this company does is that they allow you to intern in different parts of the world, basically the most famous ones that have to do with fashion. And I interned with them, and I submitted my application with them, my resume. And the best thing about this was that you don't necessarily have to have a lot of experience with fashion, but what you do need, what they want, are people, enthusiastic. The way that it worked out was that I reached out to them. They have their website, which I will link. They have their website. You submit your information and your resume, and you don't necessarily have to have fashion experience per se at a professional setting, but more so you need to have the drive and the motivation and the creativity and the attitude to do it. So that's what what got me into the door. I submitted my resume with one of the blogs that I've started, and that's just how it happened. And then I got called for an interview on the phone. They're based off of London, so the time difference there was a little, just a little hard, because sometimes they would be calling and I'd be working, so I had to step out and be like, okay, hi, yes, I'm interested, this is what I want to do. And they would call me and I would do the interview, and then they would tell me, okay, so how long do you want to stay? They have they have like 6 weeks to 12 weeks to 6 months to probably even a year, and you pay accordingly to how much time you want to be abroad. And I thought, at first I wanted to do the 6-month program. I'm like, let's just do it. I just want to do 6 months. But then, they said, I think it's better for you to do 3 months first, and then from there you can go on and you can apply for your second term and see, how you like it. So I thought that was a better idea. So I did the 3 months course, and then they match you with companies that they work with. So they ask you basically what it is that you're into. You could even do marketing, you could do business, you could do the fashion designer, you could do anything you like. They have a lot of areas. And so I told them, well, you know what, I want to work with the fashion design team. And I don't want to work with a big brand, because I find myself that if you start working into a big brand and you immerse yourself with that brand, sometimes you almost become invisible to them. And I didn't want to just be the coffee girl, I didn't want to just be getting coffee for people at the big brand names. I actually wanted to do some of the work. So that's why I told them, you know what, let me just work with more of a independent, business, a fashion designer, so that it could be better, and I could really see how it is, to bring this business up. And so that's how that started. After that, it's just been really good. They sent me a list of places I could stay, because finding housing in Paris is so hard, and that's just a whole nother subject. But finding housing is really hard. Thank God for AIRBNB, because honestly that's just the only thing I use at this point, because I don't trust anybody. But they sent me the list, and they sent me the contract, and I had to pay the deposit, and I had to pay everything. signed it, and that was that. And then I was on my way. I was accepted. They matched me with a company. I had an interview with the company as well, and that was it. And after that, here we are. 5 tips for you guys. If you want to travel and you want to move for a couple months and you want to, just experience a new life. Number 1, decide what you want to do. Decide what you want to do, what industry you want to be in. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to choose the wrong industry because you're not going to know until you actually try. So that's the number 1 thing you want to just think about. Like if you feel that you are into fashion, if you feel that you're into business, accounting, marketing, computer, whatever it is that you feel that you want to do, just go ahead and immerse yourself into that and figure it out from there and see if that's the route you want to take, because it can probably take you to your best career ever or your best time ever, but it might not either, but either way you're going to learn. You're going to be a better person after that. You're going to have more direction in your life. So that's the number 1 tip that I have for you guys. Always look into yourself and see what it is and what you feel that you want to do. Second, once you know in what industry you want to be in, find internships, find programs, find courses, find something to do that you can do while you're abroad. And at the same time, that comes with the number 3, pick where. Pick where you want to be, what part of the world. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to go overseas in order for you to do what you want to do, but for me it was necessary because I love France, I love Paris, and I love traveling, and I really wanted to have that experience for myself. But you could do it where you are. You probably have to just move, just quit your job and go somewhere else or something if your job is not making you happy. But maybe, you don't have to go overseas, but if you do, then, find the place that attracts you. And third and fourth, book your flight, start saving money, and find a location. Find a location to live in. Find a flat, find a studio, a room, whatever you want to call it, because in advance. Here in Paris, believe me, it has been hard. I thought that I had gotten a very good deal online on this random website. I don't even remember what it was called anymore. I decide to erase bad things that happened in my life. I just delete them out of my mind, and that was one bad thing that happened. I got scammed. The guy told me that I was going to get a nice room and that I needed to wire over. I mean, this already just sounds scammy, doesn't it? To wire over first month's deposit plus the deposit, first month's rent plus the deposit. And yeah, my friend then told me, my good friend Stella told me, you know what, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to send the money over before you see the place. And I had already done that. So you know what, it's okay. I'm done. I don't care about that anymore. This happened, keep in mind, this happened before I came to my trip. And I found out about this maybe about a couple days. I think so. It was about 5 days before me leaving the States to come here. And after that, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go with my good old Airbnb, because honestly, Airbnb has never let me down. I love them so much. Thank you so much for inventing that, because honestly, it would not make traveling any easier if we didn't have a place to stay. So I just do everything on Airbnb now. And just one more thing I want to share with you guys is that always remember that God is with you, and always remember that you can do whatever you want to do in life. And that's just basically what I want to tell you guys, because I always think that it's important that you feel comfortable, you feel safe, and that's what I keep telling myself every day. Because I'm here by myself, but at the same time I don't feel like I'm alone, because I know people around Europe, a couple people and my friends like Claudia, Natalia, my friend Stella, even though she's in the States, but you know, it just makes me feel more comfortable because they've been around. They know how it is here, and I just feel like even though they're not here in Paris with me, I know that they're always supporting me. So I know that they're here with me. I know God's with me. My family's with me. So if you guys ever want to do anything so radical like moving countries, just do it. Just do it. Do not hesitate, because if you hesitate and you think about it and you start thinking about every single detail, oh my gosh, how's it gonna work out, this and that, you're not gonna do it. Just, you know, have the simple things, or the main things per se. Let's just have the main things planned out, what you're gonna do and where you're gonna live. I mean, have some money for it, earn some money as well, and you know, that's it. That's it. There's really nothing much more than that. So, have a best life. Happy 2020. And remember to always follow your dreams.